The first 25 facts, the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is filled with countless lessons and details that many people overlook. While most know the major events such as his birth in Mecca, the first revelation, and the migration to Medina, there are many lesser-known aspects that reveal his character, his upbringing, and the way he influenced people around him. In this first part of our story, we will explore the first 25 unknown facts about him and try to understand how these details shaped the extraordinary journey of the Prophet. The first fact is about the year of his birth. Muhammad was born in what Arabs remember as the Year of the Elephant, around 570 CE. This was the year when an army led by a Yemeni ruler attempted to attack the holy city of Mecca with elephants. The attack failed, and the event became so famous that it was used as a way of marking time. People would say this happened before or after the Year of the Elephant. His birth in that year was seen as a sign of protection and significance. The second fact is about the meaning of his name. The name Muhammad means the praised one, or the one worthy of praise. It was not very common in Arabia at the time, but the meaning carried great beauty and strength. Later generations found this name perfectly suited to the man who would be praised by millions across the world. The third fact relates to his early childhood. His father Abdullah died before he was born, and his mother Amina passed away when he was very young. This meant that Muhammad grew up as an orphan. First, his grandfather Abdul Muttalib took care of him, and later his uncle Abu Talib raised him. These early losses shaped his sensitivity toward orphans and the poor, and made him compassionate toward the struggles of others. The fourth fact is that he spent part of his childhood as a shepherd. Like many young boys of his time, he looked after sheep and goats. This experience taught him patience, responsibility, and the ability to spend long hours in reflection. It also allowed him to understand the natural world and the value of caring for creatures that depend on their guardian. The fifth fact is his honesty in trade. When he grew older, he began working in the caravan trade. He traveled with groups of merchants across Arabia and even beyond to Syria. He quickly developed a reputation for being trustworthy and fair. People began calling him Al-Amin, which means the trustworthy. This title stayed with him long before he was known as a prophet. The sixth fact is his marriage to Khadijah. She was a wealthy and respected merchant who hired Muhammad to manage her trade caravan. Impressed by his honesty and good character, she proposed marriage to him. Their marriage was one of love, respect, and partnership. Khadijah supported him emotionally and financially, and stood by him during the most difficult years of his mission. The seventh fact highlights the first revelation. Muhammad used to spend long hours in the cave of Hira near Mecca, reflecting and praying. At the age of 40, during one of these retreats, the angel Jibril came to him with the first words of revelation. The experience left him deeply shaken. He returned home trembling and confused, but Khadijah comforted him and reassured him that he was chosen for a great mission. The eighth fact is the role of Khadijah after the first revelation. She not only believed in him, but also took him to her cousin Waraka ibn Nawfal, who was a Christian scholar. Waraka listened carefully and confirmed that Muhammad had encountered the same angel who had come to the earlier prophets. This gave Muhammad confidence to continue his mission, despite the fear and uncertainty he initially felt. The ninth fact is that he did not begin preaching publicly right away. For the first few years, he shared the message only with his family and closest friends. This gradual beginning allowed the small group of early Muslims to build strong faith before facing the harsh opposition of Mecca. The 10th fact is that the earliest Muslims came from different backgrounds. Some were wealthy merchants like Abu Bakr, while others were poor or enslaved like Bilal. Women like Khadijah and Fatima also played a major role. This diversity showed that Islam was not a movement for only one class, but a message for all people, regardless of wealth or status. The 11th fact is the persecution they faced. The leaders of Mecca saw his message as a threat to their traditions and their wealth, which came from idol worship around the Kaaba. Early Muslims were insulted, beaten, and even tortured. Some were killed for their faith. Yet despite this suffering, they remained loyal to Muhammad and the new message of Islam. The 12th fact is the Prophet's migration to Medina. When life in Mecca became unbearable, he and his followers moved to the city of Yathrib, which became known as Medina. This migration, called the Hijra, was more than just a change of location. It was the beginning of a new community based on faith and justice. The 13th fact is the Charter of Medina. After settling there, Muhammad created an agreement between Muslims, Jews, and other groups living in the city. This charter established rules for peace cooperation and protection. It's considered one of the earliest examples of a written constitution in history. The 14th fact is his role as both a spiritual and political leader. In Medina, he was not only teaching and guiding, but also solving disputes, managing resources, and leading the defense of the community. He combined faith with practical leadership, showing that religion could guide both personal and social life. The 15th fact is about his daily life. Despite being the leader of a growing community, he lived simply. He repaired his own clothes, mended his shoes, and helped with housework. He slept on a simple mat and ate basic food. His humility impressed everyone around him. The 16th fact is his emphasis on charity. He constantly reminded people to care for the poor, the orphan, and the traveler. Giving charity was not just encouraged, but seen as a duty. He himself gave generously and preferred to share whatever he had with others rather than keep wealth for himself. The 17th fact is the bond he had with his companions. They were not just followers, but also his students and friends. He taught them, listened to them, and accepted advice from them. They in turn showed him love, loyalty, and respect that went beyond mere obedience. The 18th fact is the way he preserved the revelation. Many companions memorized the verses as they were revealed. Some wrote them down on pieces of parchment, bone, or leather. This careful preservation ensured that the words of the Quran were passed on accurately from the very beginning. The 19th fact is his teaching style. He often spoke in short, clear sayings that were easy to remember. He used parables and examples from daily life so that people of all levels could understand his message. His words were practical and full of wisdom. The 20th fact is his kindness toward animals. He taught that animals should be treated with care and not abused. He spoke against overburdening them or harming them unnecessarily. Stories are told of him showing compassion to animals that others might ignore. The 21st fact is about his concern for the environment. He encouraged people not to waste water even when they were by a flowing river. He valued trees and green spaces and discouraged unnecessary destruction. This shows that his vision of faith included care for the earth itself. The 22nd fact is about his appearance. Companions described him as having a radiant face, neither too tall nor too short, with a presence that inspired respect. He had a strong build, dark hair, and walked with purpose. People who saw him often said they were struck by his dignity and beauty. The 23rd fact is that he valued honesty in business. He taught that cheating in trade was a sin and that true profit came from fair dealing. His own example as a trader before his mission gave credibility to these teachings. The 24th fact is his ability to forgive. Even those who insulted or harmed him were often met with mercy when they repented or sought forgiveness. His character of forgiveness softened many hearts and won new supporters. The 25th fact is his vision of community. He taught that all believers are like one body and that unity and support for one another are essential. He emphasized brotherhood and sisterhood across tribal and social divisions. This principle allowed the early Muslim community to survive great challenges and grow stronger with time. The next 25 facts, Zitandia, story of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, continues with many more details that reveal the depth of his character and the way he lived. Beyond the well-known events, there are aspects of his daily life, his leadership, and his interactions with others that are not commonly spoken about. These next 25 facts shed further light on who he was and how he guided people through both words and actions. The 26th fact is his strong connection with children. He loved children deeply and treated them with affection. He would greet them, play with them, and even carry them on his shoulders. He often shortened prayers when he heard a child crying so that the mother would not feel troubled. His kindness toward children showed his gentle heart and concern for the smallest members of the community. The 27th fact is his deep respect for women. At a time when women were often treated unfairly, he raised their status. He taught that paradise lies at the feet of mothers and that men must treat their wives with kindness and honor. He consulted women in important matters and gave them rights in marriage, inheritance, and property that were revolutionary for his time. The 28th fact is his sense of justice. He declared that even if his own daughter Fatima were to commit a crime, the law would apply to her as it would to anyone else. His justice was not based on favoritism or tribal loyalty, but on fairness for all. This principle earned him the respect of even those who opposed him. The 29th fact is his ability to forgive enemies. In the conquest of Mecca, after years of persecution and battles, he entered the city peacefully. Instead of taking revenge, he forgave those who had once tried to kill him. His words to them were that they were free. This act of mercy transformed many former enemies into devoted followers. The 30th fact is his role as a teacher of humility. He taught his followers not to boast about their lineage, wealth, or power. He reminded them that all humans are equal before God, and that the most honored in the sight of God are those with the best character. His own lifestyle reflected this teaching, since he lived simply and never sought luxury. The 31st fact is his patience during hardship. He faced insults, hunger, battles, and betrayal, yet he never abandoned his mission. His patience became an example for his companions, who looked to him for strength when their faith was tested. Stories of his calmness during difficulties continue to inspire believers today. The 32nd fact is his guidance on cleanliness. He encouraged people to maintain personal hygiene by washing before prayers, trimming nails, and brushing teeth with a natural twig called miswak. These practices were not only spiritual but also promoted health and well-being. The 33rd fact is that he valued knowledge. He taught that seeking knowledge was a duty for every man and woman. He praised scholars and encouraged learning about both religion and the world. This love of knowledge later inspired a flourishing of science and culture in the Muslim world. The 34th fact is his careful use of time. He taught people to value every moment and to remember that life is short. He divided his time between worship, family, teaching, and serving the community. His balanced schedule serves as a model for how to live a meaningful and organized life. The 35th fact is his way of speaking. He spoke slowly and clearly so that listeners could remember his words. He avoided unnecessary talk and always chose meaningful expressions. People who heard him often felt that he spoke directly to their hearts. The 36th fact is his generosity. Whenever he received wealth or gifts, he gave them away quickly to those in need. He did not hoard riches and preferred to live with little. His generosity inspired his companions to give in charity as well, and created a culture of caring within the community. The 37th fact is his deep concern for the poor. He never ignored those who were struggling. He sat with the poor, ate with them, and listened to their concerns. He reminded his companions that helping the poor was a way of serving God, and that arrogance had no place in the life of a believer. The 38th fact is his special bond with orphans. Being an orphan himself, he understood their struggles. He promised great reward in paradise for those who care for orphans, and he personally supported many throughout his life. This compassion gave comfort to countless children who had no one else to look after them. The 39th fact is his habit of smiling. His companions often said that he smiled frequently and brought warmth wherever he went. His smile was a sign of kindness and made people feel welcomed and valued. This small detail shows the gentle nature of the prophet. The 40th fact is his concern for neighbors. He taught that a person is not truly a believer if their neighbor suffers from their harm. He encouraged sharing food with neighbors and looking after them regardless of their faith. This teaching strengthened bonds within the community and promoted peace among people. The 41st fact is his balanced approach to worship. He discouraged extreme practices and reminded people that religion should not be a burden. He encouraged moderation in prayer, fasting, and other acts so that faith would remain a source of strength and joy rather than hardship. The 42nd fact is his habit of consultation. Even though he was a prophet, he often sought advice from his companions in matters of war, community, and daily life. This practice made people feel valued and built unity within the group. It showed that leadership is strengthened by listening to others. The 43rd fact is his bravery in battle. Though he preferred peace and often sought to avoid conflict, he did not shy away from defending his people when attacked. He stood alongside his companions in battle and never asked them to face danger that he himself would not face. His courage inspired those around him to stand firm. The 44th fact is his strong faith in prayer. In moments of difficulty, he would turn to prayer for strength. He often prayed long into the night, seeking closeness to God. His devotion showed that prayer was not just ritual, but a deep connection with the Creator. The 45th fact is his fairness in leadership. He did not favor the rich over the poor or the powerful over the weak. He appointed people to roles based on merit and trustworthiness rather than tribal background. This fairness allowed the community to grow strong and united. The 46th fact is his teachings about honesty. He warned against lying and deception in all forms. Truthfulness was at the heart of his character, and he encouraged it in both words and actions. His emphasis on honesty made his followers trustworthy in the eyes of others. The 47th fact is his love for peace. Even in times of conflict, he preferred negotiations and treaties when possible. The Treaty of Hudaybiyah is one example where he agreed to terms that seemed unfavorable at first, but ultimately brought peace and strengthened the Muslim community. His ability to prioritize peace over pride shows his wisdom. The 48th fact is his guidance on hospitality. He encouraged welcoming guests and treating them generously. He said that whoever believes in God and the last day should honor their guest. His own example of sharing food and making visitors comfortable became a standard of Muslim culture. The 49th fact is his sense of gratitude. He thanked God in every situation, whether in ease or hardship. He taught his followers to appreciate even small blessings and not to take anything for granted. This attitude of gratitude created a sense of contentment and hope among his people. The 50th fact is his vision of humanity as one family. He reminded people that all humans come from Adam and Eve, and that differences in race or tribe are only for recognition, not superiority. His message of equality and brotherhood was powerful in a world divided by tribal pride and social class. The next 25 facts. The journey of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, becomes even more inspiring when we explore more hidden aspects of his life. Each fact reveals something new about his character and leadership, showing how he combined faith, wisdom, and compassion in every situation. In this part, we will look at facts 51 to 75 that are often overlooked but carry deep lessons for humanity. The 51st fact is his humility in gatherings. When he sat with people, he never placed himself above others. He did not sit on a throne or higher seat, but chose to sit on the ground among his companions. Visitors sometimes had difficulty recognizing him because he looked like one of the group rather than a king or ruler. His humility won the hearts of those around him. The 52nd fact is his ability to listen. He never interrupted others when they spoke. He listened with attention even to the poor, the young, or those considered unimportant by society. This made everyone feel valued and respected, and encouraged people to open their hearts to him. The 53rd fact is his habit of greeting others first. He would often be the first to say, "Peace be upon you," when meeting people. This simple act spread warmth and made people feel acknowledged. His habit of starting greetings showed his eagerness to spread peace in every encounter. The 54th fact is his care for the sick. He visited those who were ill and prayed for their recovery. He comforted them with kind words and reminded them of God's mercy. His presence brought relief to the suffering and showed the importance of compassion in times of weakness. The 55th fact is his habit of visiting graves. He would remind his companions to visit graveyards to remember death and the hereafter. This practice encouraged people to live with awareness and humility, knowing that life is temporary and that every soul will return to God. The 56th fact is his moderation in eating. He never overate and encouraged others to fill 1/3 of the stomach with food, 1/3 with water, and leave 1/3 empty. He taught that overeating leads to weakness and illness. His diet was simple, often consisting of bread, dates, milk, and a little meat on occasion. The 57th fact is his gratitude for simple food. He never complained about what he was served. If he liked it, he ate it, and if he did not, he simply left it without criticism. This attitude taught contentment and respect for the blessings of God, no matter how small they seemed. The 58th fact is his dislike for arrogance. He warned that no one with even a trace of arrogance in their heart would enter paradise. He reminded people that pride belongs only to God and that humans should live with humility and gratitude. His own life reflected this principle in every action. The 59th fact is his kindness toward servants. He never mistreated those who worked under him. Instead, he helped them with tasks and treated them like family. His servant Anas ibn Malik once said that in 10 years of service, the Prophet never scolded him harshly or insulted him. This gentle behavior was rare in a society where servants were often mistreated. The 60th fact is his guidance on friendship. He taught that a person is influenced by the company they keep. He advised choosing friends who are righteous and honest because they help one grow in goodness. His own friendships with his companions were based on loyalty, trust, and sincerity. The 61st fact is his use of humor. He sometimes joked with his companions and family, but always spoke the truth, even in jest. His humor was gentle and never hurtful. It brought joy to those around him and showed that kindness and laughter could exist alongside seriousness and devotion. The 62nd fact is his teachings about moderation in wealth. He warned against becoming attached to riches and reminded people that wealth is only a tool and a test. He encouraged giving in charity and reminded his followers that true richness is the richness of the heart, not the size of possessions. The 63rd fact is his habit of remembering God at all times. Whether waking up, eating, traveling, or entering his home, he would say words of remembrance. This constant connection with God gave him peace and strength, and served as an example for his companions to make faith part of every moment of life. The 64th fact is his discipline in fasting. He fasted not only in Ramadan, but also on other days, such as Mondays and Thursdays. He said that fasting teaches patience, gratitude, and self-control. His commitment to fasting showed his devotion and his ability to balance physical needs with spiritual goals. The 65th fact is his encouragement of marriage. He taught that marriage completes half of faith and provides companionship, protection, and the continuation of family. He treated his wives with love and respect and taught others to do the same. His example made marriage a bond of mercy and kindness rather than domination. The 66th fact is his love for prayer at night. He would often wake in the middle of the night to pray while others slept. His prayers were long and filled with tears as he sought forgiveness and mercy for his people. This devotion showed his deep connection with God and his concern for the well-being of others. The 67th fact is his balanced leadership in war. When conflicts occurred, he gave strict rules to protect civilians, women, children, and even trees and crops. He emphasized that war was only for defense and never for cruelty or destruction. His rules of conduct in battle were far ahead of his time and remain an example of ethical leadership. The 68th fact is his love for recitation of the Quran. He recited with deep emotion and beautiful rhythm. Sometimes he wept while reciting and listening. His companions described the recitation as soft and touching, filling their hearts with peace and awe. The 69th fact is his use of oaths carefully. He discouraged swearing unnecessarily and taught that oaths should only be made with sincerity. His words carried such honesty that he did not need to swear often for people to believe him. This shows the strength of his truthfulness. The 70th fact is his careful use of resources. He valued water, food, and clothing, and advised against wasting anything. He lived simply and encouraged others to appreciate what they had without extravagance. His teachings on avoiding wastefulness align with modern ideas of sustainability. The 71st fact is his encouragement of fairness in trade. He ordered that weights and measures be accurate and warned against cheating customers. His strong stance against dishonesty in business built trust in the Muslim community and improved social relations. The 72nd fact is his kindness to animals during journeys. He told companions not to keep animals standing for long without food or rest. He cared for camels, horses, and donkeys, reminding people that these creatures are also part of God's creation and deserve care. The 73rd fact is his role as a reconciler. He often helped resolve disputes between tribes and families. His wisdom and fairness calmed tensions and prevented bloodshed. People trusted his judgment even before he became a prophet because of his ability to bring peace between rivals. The 74th fact is his habit of working with his hands. He did not rely on others to do everything for him. He built mosques, dug trenches, and carried bricks alongside his companions. This willingness to share labor showed his humility and sense of unity with his followers. The 75th fact is his love for simplicity in clothing. He wore plain garments without seeking luxury or show. His clothes were clean and modest, often patched when torn. His simplicity in dress reflected his teachings that true dignity comes from character, not appearance. The final 25 facts. The life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is like an ocean of wisdom and guidance. Even after exploring 75 facts about him, there are still more details that reveal his character and the beauty of his teachings. In this final part, we will cover facts 76 to 100 to complete our journey of discovering lesser-known aspects of his life. The 76th fact is his love for fragrance. He appreciated good scents and used perfume regularly. Companions described that wherever he passed by, a pleasant fragrance remained. His care for cleanliness and fragrance reflected his emphasis on dignity and respect in personal presentation. The 77th fact is his dislike for wastefulness in food. He ate modest portions and encouraged finishing what was on the plate. He considered wasting food a sign of ingratitude to God. His example teaches responsibility and respect for blessings. The 78th fact is his kindness toward animals even in small ways. Once he saw a bird distressed because its chicks had been taken. He asked who had caused the bird pain and ordered the chicks to be returned. This story shows his sensitivity to the feelings of creatures often overlooked by people. The 79th fact is his concern for fairness in inheritance. He ensured that women received their rightful share at a time when they were often excluded. His reforms gave dignity to daughters, wives, and mothers, and protected their rights for generations to come. The 80th fact is his encouragement of visiting the poor and sitting with them. He reminded his companions that God is with the humble and that serving the poor brings blessings. He never distanced himself from the less fortunate and found joy in their company. The 81st fact is his ability to remain calm in anger. Even when provoked, he controlled his temper and responded with patience. He taught that the strongest person is not the one who can fight, but the one who can control anger. His self-control made him an example of true strength. The 82nd fact is his role as a protector of minorities. In Medina, he assured safety to Jewish and Christian communities under treaties. He forbade harming their places of worship and promised them justice. This respect for religious diversity was rare in that age. The 83rd fact is his warning against racism. He declared that no Arab is superior to a non-Arab, and no white person is superior to a black person except by piety and good character. His message of equality broke tribal pride and racial arrogance. The 84th fact is his encouragement of physical strength. He engaged in running, horse riding, archery, and wrestling. He encouraged his companions to maintain fitness and health as part of a balanced life. His active lifestyle showed that spirituality and physical strength go hand in hand. The 85th fact is his concern for mental and emotional well-being. He comforted those who were sad or worried and reminded them of God's mercy. He encouraged hope and optimism and discouraged despair. His words gave strength to people in times of difficulty. The 86th fact is his habit of making dua for others. He prayed not only for his companions, but also for those who harmed him. He asked God to guide them and forgive them. This habit showed his mercy and concern for all humanity. The 87th fact is his teachings about fairness in leadership. He warned that leadership is a trust and should not be taken for personal gain. He emphasized that a true leader serves the people rather than ruling them harshly. His example of servant leadership remains a model today. The 88th fact is his sense of equality in worship. In prayer, he stood shoulder to shoulder with his companions, without any distinction of wealth, race, or status. Kings, servants, rich and poor all prayed together in the same rows. This practice built unity and destroyed social barriers. The 89th fact is his habit of praying for rain during droughts. He would lead the community in special prayers, asking for God's mercy. When rain came, he reminded people to thank God and use it wisely. His prayers connected the community with the natural world and divine mercy. The 90th fact is his respect for elderly people. He taught that honoring elders is part of faith. He stood up when elders entered and gave them preference in gatherings. His respect for age strengthened family and community bonds. The 91st fact is his kindness to animals used for work. He advised not to overload camels and donkeys and to treat them gently. His compassion extended not only to humans, but to every creature in society. The 92nd fact is his encouragement of learning languages. Some companions learned other languages under his guidance so they could communicate with different tribes and nations. This showed his openness to knowledge and cross-cultural understanding. The 93rd fact is his practice of keeping promises. Whether large or small, he never broke his word. Even his enemies admitted that Muhammad always fulfilled his promises. This trustworthiness made him respected across Arabia. The 94th fact is his teaching that smiling is charity. He said that even a smile given to another person counts as an act of charity. This teaching made kindness accessible to all, since everyone could give it without wealth. The 95th fact is his appreciation of nature. He admired mountains, deserts, and the night sky. He encouraged reflection on creation as a way to recognize the greatness of God. His words inspired people to see the signs of the Creator in the world around them. The 96th fact is his caution against envy. He warned that envy burns good deeds like fire burns wood. He encouraged people to be content with what they have and to wish goodness for others. His teaching promoted peace of heart and harmony in society. The 97th fact is his habit of helping with household chores. He cooked, milked animals, and cleaned at home. He did not consider such tasks beneath him, but part of family responsibility. His example challenged the traditions of men avoiding domestic work. The 98th fact is his emphasis on honesty in speech. He discouraged gossip, slander, and false promises. He taught that truth leads to righteousness, and righteousness leads to paradise. His truthful nature became one of his most famous qualities. The 99th fact is his compassion for prisoners of war. Instead of cruelty, he often freed them, or allowed them to earn freedom by teaching literacy to Muslim children. This humane approach turned enemies into friends and spread respect for Islam. The 100th fact is his final sermon at Mount Arafat. In his farewell pilgrimage, he reminded people to worship only God, to treat women kindly, to avoid injustice, and to hold firmly to the Quran and his teachings. He declared that all humans are equal and that the trust of faith must be preserved. His final words were a timeless message of justice, equality, and faith that continue to guide millions around the world.